Alrighty then. This show is now live. What is up, everyone? We are live and alive in the 915. My name is Richie David Marrufo. I'll be your MC, and this is our stay-at-home open mic, aka our Monday night online open mic, aka the Late Late Show. That's right. We're just getting started underway. We got a list once again of performers, longtime regulars, and again for another week in a row, a first-time performer. Super excited about that. We also have a little bit of music tonight. If you're not familiar, an online open mic is just like any other open mic. If you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up. So if you're watching this live stream right now and you want to join us, just check the description of the video and you can find the link to join us. We will be, we actually have enough room. So if you are watching, you can join us. Or if you just want to support, we do have the live stream. Something that always helps us out, or something that I think is always cool, is when you participate in the live chat, saying hi, where you're listening in from. Let us know what lines you love, the ones that strike you in any particular way, they make you feel something, or you find a connection with in any way, or maybe they taught you something. Let us know, because right now, as an audience, you are intangible. You could be anyone, even though we do have a lot of regular audience members. And if you do participate in the live chat, I will shout you out. Again, we are based out of El Paso, Texas, here on the border, U.S.-Mexico border. And this is brought to you by Barbed Wire Open Mic Series and BorderSenses. We do have we always have shows in person as well. So if you are in the El Paso area, please join us this week. Tomorrow, Tuesday, July 11th, we are going to be at Rosewood in downtown El Paso. And this Friday, we are going to be at Craft Rhythm and Brews for another music and poetry night. We will be featuring the musician Aztec Caves. But we got a lot of great events planned throughout the month, including our debut in Las Cruces. That's right, BWOMS in Las Cruces, Saturday, July 20. Wait, is it? I want to make sure I get that right. Yeah, the 29th. Okay, I would have said the right thing. That's because sometimes I make up specials, like at the live venues. I'll be like, and also it's $2. They got this, and they're like, no, it's not. So I just got to make sure I got my all my info right. So Saturday, July 29th, come hang out with us in Las Cruces from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's going to be a writer's night. So if you write any kind of writing, including songwriting, come join us. All right. So without further ado, again, we're going to go ahead and drink. Sorry, I read the Zoom. All drinks are on me. Maybe if you can make it out. Those of you who are international or all around the country, if you can make it out, sure. Drinks are on me. But we have a pretty full list. I'm encouraging you guys to share your websites or places where we can purchase your books or merchandise, or please feel free to share your social media of any kind. But we're excited to be here. I got some people trying to join right now. They're texting me. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick things off. As we've done many, many, many times in the last couple of years, we're going to go ahead and start things off in Denver. And welcome to the show, Mr. Michael Sindler. What is up? How's it going, Mike?
Hey, Richie. Hey, everybody. Always great to be here. Glad to see even more people are showing up. This is already a good crowd. I do want to, right off the bat, put up my lighthousewriters.org here. And, everybody here in the wonderful Hollywood Squares room that we've got has seen me do this at least 100 times, if not more. But for all of y'all who are watching out there on YouTube land, whether you're watching it live or you're watching the repeat of this later, go ahead and check it out. Just lighthousewriters.org. It's got something going on for pretty much anything you're doing as far as any stage of writing or type of writing, and a lot of real community building stuff that I cannot recommend highly enough, or I wouldn't have been doing it for years now. So that being said, I will go ahead and start. I was in a workshop on the 5th, after all the 4th of July, which got rained out here. It was beautiful because everybody was out and then got dumped on, and then it was fun. But because I'm kind of anti-fireworks. But I was thinking about, so I wrote this piece. It's just sort of a persona poem, for lack of a better word. It's called My Banner is a Quilt. She said, your loud blasts and showered color don't speak to me. My people didn't have a dog in that fight. We stayed in the fields while y'all galloped and marched all up the coast. Neither side treated us better. All created equal? Those were words that rang hollow. Hell, most of us couldn't even read them since education was a flogging offense. Even after we supposedly got free almost 100 years later, a bunch of y'all kept a bunch of us from even knowing it happened. And it ain't like sharecropping was a huge step up. But y'all made us free enough to fight in your wars way over yonder where y'all was still fighting one another. And for a while, we thought we were catching up. But the joke was on us, because sometimes white men in black robes is as bad as white men in white ones. I can't find nothing to celebrate when my boy can't go to school without me worrying if I'll ever see him again, when I can't drive a car or walk down a street or even sleep in my bed without having a target painted on me for men in blue with sticky, itchy trigger fingers, when I can't stand in my own yard without somebody thinking I'm a burglar, because what's my kind doing in a nice neighborhood? All that blue and red is striped and starring white. Ain't no color that represents me in sight on that spangly banner y'all go on and on about. My banner is a quilt made of patches stitched together, tattered and torn, harvested scraps, pieced together with care and craft, sewn up into something sacred, echoing patterns from where we came from, patterns of what we lived through, patterns of how we loved, when everywhere outside those edges was somewhere you weren't meant to be. So you loft your sheet up that pole and shoot fire around it. Sit on blankets eating all that good soul food we taught you how to make. I'll be inside as close to safe as I can get, with Miles and Marvin and Tupac drowning out those booms and bangs that sound too much like what could happen any time to me in your land of the free. I'll be waiting for that arc to bend, because I've been pushing on it all my life, and all I see is just us every time the dust settles. So don't expect me to get excited for your fireworks and fanfare. I don't care for none of it, because it doesn't seem like this country cares a lot for me. So that was sort of how I was feeling. Just, coming from a place of privilege myself, just trying to remind myself that that ain't the case for everybody. And this is another one called What Can and Cannot. To know what has been lost is to know what cannot be lost. To know the purity that resists the poison, the warm metal reformed after the fire, the sterling gleaming beneath the patina. To know what has been lost is to catalog despair, to fill an empty box and find it heavy in your hand, to follow trails of scraps into barren rooms where the stale scent of grease clings and every step disturbs dust. To know what cannot be lost is to sit still and feel the sun, to let familiar perfume excite with inhalation, calmly letting go as outward breath relaxes, lights flicker as they ignite one by one, up line from base of spine to point behind the eyes. To know what cannot be lost is to see a photograph devoid of panic or remorse for image of unaltering devotion. To know what has been lost is to count consequence of accumulation. To know what cannot be lost is to record that which exists beyond deviation. And I'm going to go ahead and put on the old hat and go back to my old friend, Mr. Don Van Vliet, otherwise known as Captain Beefheart. And I always think this sort of has a little like summertime feel to it in a way. It's also got a little sea shanty edge to it. It's called Orange Claw Hammer. A thick cloud caught a piper club's tail. The match stuck blue on a railroad rail. The old puff horse was just pulling through, and a man wore a peg leg forever. I'm on the bum where the hobos run. The air breaks with filthy chatter. Oh, I don't care, there's no place there. I don't think it matters. My skin's blazing through and my clothes in tatters, and the railroad looked like a Y up the hill of ladders. One shoe fell on the gravel, one stick poked down. Gray of age fell down on a pair of ears. An eagle shined through my whole watch pocket. A gingham girl, baby girl, passed me by in tears. A jackrabbit raised his folded ears. A beautiful sagebrush jackrabbit. And an oriole sang like an orange, his breast full of worms and his tail clawed the evening like a hammer. His wings took to air like a bomber, and my rain can caught me a cup of water. When I got into town, odd jobs, ma'am, your horse all fodder. I'm the roundhouse man, I once was your father. A little up the road, a wooden candy striped barber pole, and above it read a sign, Painless Parker. Licorice twisted around under a fly, and a youngster cocked her eye. God before me, if I'm not crazy, is my daughter. Come, little one, with your little dimpled fingers, give me one, and I'll buy you a cherry phosphate, take you down to the foaming brine and water, and show you the wooden tits on the goddess with a pole out full sail that tempted away your peg-legged father. I was shanghaied by a high-hat beaver mustache man and his pirate friend. I woke up in vomit and a beer in a banana bin, and a soft lass with brown skin bore me 7 babies with snapping black eyes and beautiful ebony skin. And here it is, I'm with you, my daughter, 30 years away, can make a seaman's eyes, a roundhouse man's eyes, flow out water, salt water. Thank you very much.
All right, awesome. I definitely see the sea shanty part you're talking about. Thanks for sharing that, Mike, and as always for sharing Lighthouse Writers with all of us out there in the world. Awesome, man. Thank you. Yo, everyone, give it up for Mike one more time. Thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yeah, and I just want to again, like Richie saying, man, if y'all can on YouTube, if you can print comments and stuff, it's really great for us to go back and see those later. So.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I see that Julian is already on here, and it's your birthday tomorrow, man. I hope you get that birthday cake if you want one. If you want one, we got an open mic, so if you come through, you're more than welcome. We'll get you.
Baked a cake, so
there you go. Oh yeah, Mike. Can you download a cake?
Yeah.
There's a meme somewhere there about downloading a car, but can you download a cake? Let's find out. Hey, what is going on, everyone? If you're just tuning in, this is our Monday night online open mic. We are gathered on Zoom, but we're streaming live on YouTube. And so if you're tuning in, thank you so much. We love having you here. We got a pretty packed list of performers. We're excited to, well, I want to say action-packed list of performers. We got lots of greats here today. So we're going to come back to El Paso because, of course, we visited Mike in Denver. Same time zone. We're going to come down to El Paso and visit, of course, one of our favorites, a classic. She always gets down with some great work and covers. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the stage, Robin Schofield. What's up, Robin?
Hey, Richie. Hey,
Hey.
everybody. Happy Monday. Well, as you may know, in El Paso, we are overwhelmed by the heat dome. So I'm going to read some poems from my new book that's coming out in August. And it's called Ridge of High Pressure. As I understand this current weather, this is not the poem, but it's a heat dome, which is made up of several ridges of high pressure. So this is called Coyote Meets the Ravens. A pup about 5 months old lies dead on the dam between the three sister hills. Ravens surround him, a family of nodding undertakers. His pelt has been stripped off, his blood-baked backbone, the whole arc of his vertebrae visible, a rusty bridge spanning white water. The fluffy, bony tail still curls out. Dead for several days and no rebirth, just recycling of eyes and innards, till the park cleanup crew drives by and shovels the remains into the back of their truck. So the ravens call to their kin to move on to other dead beings, their life in the desert. And this is called, appropriately, Heat Death of the Universe. Coyote knows dawn and slips over the third dam. Time to feed the young and settle in while the sun bakes behind North Peak of the Franklins. I know an old Jeep trail you can spend your time climbing. Mountains move through eons. A stone wears down. Rain takes it to a sandy riverbed, though the river won't flow come fall. It takes time to break it in fields where crops know to blossom, then bear. The bee knows her circle dances. At maximum entropy, I cannot tell the story better than sparrows. I accidentally muted myself. This one's called Upper Valley Road, Summer Sunrise. The trill of the red-winged blackbird carries over the green-smelling water as he calls for his dull brown mate who will brood away the summer. They stay in the cottonwoods, willows, and tornillo oaks here by the Rio Grande. They don't flee like the ducks and coyotes when the river goes dry in winter. When I reckon the currents together, I see that months have gone by, gone with the spring mornings, minty odor of salvia, spent perfume of Spanish broom. On the road, we hear music of the mockingbird torn like paper in the wind, the taste of dust in my mouth and nose as the wind gusts. El Rio Bravo, home to La Garza Blanca. I would like for you to come with me under the pines and the downy white feathers that barely touch us as they drift to the ground. Okay, so those are some summer poems from Ridge of High Pressure. And now I'm going to read a cover poem, maybe the most famous heat poem of our time, by H.D. Hilda Doolittle, that is, Ezra Pound kind of unnamed her, old fascist. So this is called Heat. Oh, wind, rend open the heat, cut apart the heat, rend it to tatters. Fruit cannot drop through this thick air. Fruit cannot fall into heat that presses up and blunts the points of pears and rounds the grapes. Cut the heat, plow through it, turning it on either side of your path. So good advice by from Hilda Doolittle. And do check out my coming book parties, and I'll keep you all informed. Oh yeah, I know that I'm gonna have a virtual one on August 26th. So I'll see if I can get an invitation out to you guys.
Alrighty then. That's always exciting news. Looking forward to that. So if you guys are interested in attending the virtual one, definitely hit Robin up for that. And yeah, alrighty, then we're gonna go and keep on going. Again, thanks to the magic of the internet and Zoom, and we can just snap and be in a new location. And so, of all places to be, our next place is going to be a state of confusion. At least that's what our next performer decided to list as their location. But as we all know, we're going to go ahead and tune in with our main man in Maine. You may know him as Generalissimo. Let's hear it for Mr. Brian Franco. What's going on, man? Happy Monday. Good to see you. You made it back in just in time. What's up, man?
Ross, yes. I'm sorry, my computer keeps dropping me. Yeah. It's a raining today. I guess it's raining out there too. I guess it's raining everywhere. Who knows? But I'm not gonna read the label. I was thinking about finding a rain song to read lyrics to, but I didn't want to do that. So let's see what we got. I could pull up Thickening Men now. Okay. I pulled up a few things. There are 2 pieces in Queso's workshop, which was on Sunday. I think Bianca and Mike Skinner were both there. I'm not sure. Finn Bell might have been there, but I'm not sure. Why the Label Maker? My mom bought at Kmart in the early 70s. It's a better product than the digital label maker I bought at Target in 2020. The second I was born, I was a son to my parents. The second I was born, I was a premature baby in need of incubation to doctors and nurses. When I came home, I was a brother to 2 boys who had yet to meet me. I was labeled Rita and Ed's son to those who knew my parents. As I grew older, I was labeled Alan and Paul's brother. There have been times, though, they got labeled as my brother. Throughout my life, I've had labels attached to me. Many were born of my decisions and actions. Many were born of situations beyond my control. Some were positive, some were negative, some were accurate, some were inaccurate. Many were assumptions. Once a person gets labeled, even if they soak themselves in hot soapy water, then fully remove the adhesive residue with Goo Gone, an inaccurate label will exist in the memories of those exposed to it. When someone loses a lot of weight, sometimes someone on the sidelines will suggest that person who lost the weight either had liposuction or a gastric bypass, rather than have exercised healthy living, as if the person who lost the weight was incapable of what it takes to lose weight the old-fashioned way. Such verbal labels are gaslighting via gossiping. They are labels. They are labels of disregard. They are labels written on label makers, printed on label maker paper that doesn't necessarily stick to every surface, but gets read before they peel away, then get blown by the wind into oblivion. But once read, the label exists in someone else's mind as doubt. We are all born into labels that are DNA, but our non-DNA labels we acquire throughout our lives may not be born of our decisions and actions, but assumptions of others made from supplications. And sometimes there's not enough Goo Gone at both Home Depot and Lowe's to remove all the adhesive. And this has no title yet. Some of us meet the great love of our lives in a split second. We might bump into them or spill coffee on them or see them 3 times in one day at different places, and then life continues without a thought of them. When I was in college, I became friends with a girl who I got in a car wreck with. She hit my car, We ran into each other about a year and a half later. She apologized. She offered to take me out to dinner. It wasn't a date. We became friends for the next year and a half till she graduated. We'd try new restaurants and go to the movies. When she crashed into me, I was pretty pissed off. Thank God her insurance covered my damage and my premium didn't rise. When she said, "Hey, didn't I crash my car into yours?" I wanted to say yes and nothing else. She might have been the great love of my life. I don't remember her name. And I'm going to go ahead and do this little poem called Egg. When I cracked your shell to make my breakfast, was I committing murder? When do eggs cease being viable chickens? When I sprayed the pan with olive oil, then sprinkled nutritional yeast and white pepper onto the area of the pan your insides would fall into, then you sizzled as you hit the center of the hot surface. Then I broke the yolk almost immediately with the corner of the spatula I would flip you with, then lowered you onto a sesame bagel with melted provolone, toasting away open-faced in the toaster oven, awaiting this former chick to be placed atop the melty cheese, then topped it off with fresh baby spinach and raw onion against the top half, which has melted Munster cheese on its underside. Then I held the package tightly like a vice grip with my hands to compress everything inside in order to placate my taste buds and provide nutritional sustenance, would accompanied by high tears, cold apple cider between bites. I thought about the 11 remaining chicks to be sitting in a cardboard egg carton in my fridge awaiting their fate. And in deference to our wonderful host, the title of this poem came from a phrase in a Richie Marrufo poem. It's called Atomic Whiplash. You know how in cop shows, when a house is booby-trapped with explosives, people get out just in time to not be blown up, but just in time to be thrown into the air from the front steps. Then they always rise from the ground, usually with minor injuries. In real life, when someone gets thrown by explosive force, they will likely need at least a neck brace for the whiplash. When I met you, the second you walked away, my body flew an unknown amount of miles. You were an atomic bomb that blew up in my heart. The emotional whiplash of the infatuation I suffered slammed my heart against the walls of my psyche as if you were a fishhook dipped in worm smoothie, and I was an unsuspecting catfish who recently rose from the muck and mire of the riverbed. You were my savior, walking on water, making me jump into the air to greet you till my gills needed resuscitation. When you allowed me back in the water, unbeknownst to me, you had turned water to wine, leaving me in a drunken existence lest I tried to breathe air, which is not advantageous to a catfish. But at least, if ever I eat an actual worm on an actual hook, whoever grills me up will have catfish steak marinated in wine with notes of infatuation and whiplash. Gracias, everyone.
Hey, thank you, Brian, so much. Appreciate you. I love the background. It's been a while since I feel like it's been a while we've seen you on camera. Do you have anything you'd like to promote? The Cafe Generalissimo? Anything else? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Oh, we got you muted, Brian.
So this painting is something I did a while back. It was on the top of a round fruit crate that I got from an Asian grocery store in Portland, Maine, and I did a series of things on different kinds of fruit crate grates. It's like this. So,
Great reuse. Yeah, tell them about Cafe.
oh, I think the next one is going to be, I think the 3rd, so it's going to be on the 17th, I think. So because the last one was on Monday, the 3rd, so it'll be on the 17th. And then, of course, there's the New York Poetry Festival. The stage is going to be the Sunday, the 30th at 11:30 a.m. on Governor's Island, if you can make it. And and then on Friday, the 28th, before that, I will be at the Eco Evolution in Norwalk, Connecticut, for FUMFA, which is usually an online open mic, but they have started doing live ones. So thank you.
Awesome. No, that's great. Appreciate that. Thanks for joining us as always, Brian, everyone. Remember we'd always do the Hamilton, here comes the general when we'd introduce you. But that also took me back in the day of you'd always have some cool art that you did behind you, and it was always fun to talk about it. So if you guys ever find yourself in his area, go hit up any of those mics in person. Governor's Island, that always sounds great. Poetry Festival. I always get FOMO for that kind of thing. Even though I've never been, I got to make a chance to make that happen. And of course, if you guys are always looking for a place to perform, check out Cafe Generalissimo online.
Next year you
Yeah.
could do a BWOMS stage. You could apply to have a BWOMS stage, bring Kit and Robin and some Texas people up there, and
I'll start saving pennies.
exactly.
Thank you. All righty then. We're gonna go ahead and continue. Oh, by the way, shout out to Sandy on the live stream. I see you there chatting up. So again, if you guys are watching, please let us know you're here. Say hi in the chat. We always love that. And I'll give you a shout out during the show. All right, we're gonna go ahead and keep going. We're gonna go to South Euclid, Ohio, and check in with the poet Maester Doc. That's right. He has joined the call. He is in space. He's in cosmos. So now it's time to sit back, kick back, relax, and let him do his thing. What's up, Doc?
Well, where I am now, the ceiling. Transcendent, walking through a valley of dreams, amid the fire and certainty of you. I walk amid scents and colors of time, the time of you. I wander, I stravage in moments beyond the mists of infinity. I am enchanted, entranced by you, by your awe, and we walk together in sacred spaces and the dream time of forever. It is a walk in transcendent beauty, the beauty of the multiverse, the beauty of you. Wanderer, I am become a flaneur. I walk in the world, in winds and moments of the mind. I walk through timeless forests, landscapes, and inscapes of wonder. I discover sensory and emotional horizons and mysteries of life. I become one with earth, with stars, with the multiverse, with time. I am in an ageless continuum of change, all a surreal gift, the gift of being. And I will finish with Stardance. I drift in clouds of being, in the transcendence and synergy of peace. I glide in the star dance of love, through the quincunx, the arching constellation of your soul. I sail in the depths of you, falling into you, into the exquisite beauty of you. I soar in the fractal light and lilting songs of you, amid cantos and murmurations of your heart. And I am home. Thank you.
Awesome. I was accidentally muted. Thank you, Doc. As always, I know you're super, super busy with your poet maester duties. What do you got on the docket this week?
Well, earlier this evening, I read for our city council, and the rest of this week is a bunch of different things. where I will be just part of the general open mic scene. So I've got about 10 more things this week I'm participating in.
Well, that's
So-
it. Only 10.
Only 10,
That's all.
maybe
That's not-
12.
Alrighty then. Thank you, Doc. And as always, I love how the butterfly wings spread out behind you there like that. Fits your poems very well. Thanks for joining us. Alrighty then. Dang it. I hate when I lost train of thought, and it was mainly for a joke. So it's probably better to the world that I forgot it. Honestly, let's just be honest here. I've updated the list, guys. So we got we got some peeps jumping in, some peeps that might not make it. So once again, welcome to our online open mic. We are going to continue, and we are going to bring back to the online stage Laura Lynette, who always comes through with some amazing songs. So again, it was a real treat getting to meet her in person recently at one of our open mics at Craft Rhythm and Brews, which is this Friday, by the way, if you can make it again. But right now,
This
for all
Friday?
our wonderful this Friday, yeah. But we'll talk about that. But right now, live here on the call, let's welcome to the stage Laura Lynette. What is up? Happy Monday.
Hey. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Richie. Thanks for letting me in without I call it an application, but I guess it's just a registration kind of thing. It's been really, really hot here, as all you El Pasoans know. I'm going to sing this song because I've been in the grips of a really, really bad downtime. And this song came out of that. It's called Pain and Change. These two things are certain. Pain and change. Promise of renewal is spring's bright ray. Summer sun turns sprouts to blooms. Friends come to visit and they go on their way. Change is ever just passing through. These two things are certain. Pain and change. Autumn's harvest does not ever overstay. As winter's dark grip bids life adieu. We hold loved ones close as they pass away. The pain is ever just passing through. These two things are certain. The pain, oh, the pain and change. Everything passes kisses as we knew it would. Doesn't make it any easier to see the good. Everything will work out just as it should when temporary is understood. These two things are certain. Pain and change. These two things have us hurting. Pain and change. We're all just passing through. Ah, thank you. I'm going to do a cover now. One of my favorite songwriters. Her name is Lucinda Williams, and this one's a little lighter. Is it too much to ask? I want a comfortable bed that won't hurt my back. Food to fill me up and warm clothes and all of that stuff. Shouldn't I have this? Shouldn't I have this? Shouldn't I have all of this? And passionate kisses. Passionate kisses. Whoa, whoa. Passionate kisses from you. Is it too much to demand? I want a full house and a rock and roll band. Pins that won't run out of ink and cool, quiet in time to think. Shouldn't I have this? Shouldn't I have this? Shouldn't I have all of this? And passionate kisses. Passionate kisses. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Passionate kisses from you. Am I gone overboard to want that touch? I shouted out to the night, give me what I deserve, 'cause it's my right. Shouldn't I have this? Shouldn't I have this? Shouldn't I have all of this? And passionate kisses. Passionate kisses, whoa, passionate kisses from you. Passionate kisses. kisses, whoa, passionate kisses from you. Eee. There you go. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. And now I have to make it a personal point to at some time during the week just send you the link so you can sign up. That way so we can just get you on. Awesome. And if you have do you have a link to your album, or I can find it and post it for everyone?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I came prepared. I think. Let me see if this will paste.
All right.
Yeah. Boom.
There it is. Perfect. You did come prepared. Laura, Lynette, everyone, thank you so much.
My
Glad you
new
can join
album
us.
is on that one first link, and then my first album is on SoundCloud, pretty much intact, and some other things that haven't been put into a collection.
There you go. All the songs we're all gonna love. All right. I will make sure to copy
Thanks,
and paste that.
Richie.
Thank
Thank
you, Laura.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
No, thank you. I mean, you can tell like everyone was loving it. If you were looking at on those little Zoom rectangles up there, people were moving along. You can't body language does not lie, you know. All right, so I'm gonna also those links, I'm gonna go ahead and forward those on YouTube to our awesome people watching online right now. Again, if you are here, just say hello in the chat. I see a couple of you guys. That's her CD. I'll post the SoundCloud link in just a moment, but let's go ahead and keep this night going on because we have a debut. That's right. It's a debut, but it is someone whose name we have heard very, very recently. If you look back last week, Finn Bell gave her an amazing shout out. So check it out. Bianca is a Bay Area native that specializes in indigenous poetry. She is also a part of an all-women international consortium called Tesoro. Shout out Stacy Dyson as well for spreading the word and letting her know about this. To follow and learn more about Bianca, she has an Instagram page at b.yonka. That's 4 A's at the end. But I can also share that link later where she provides love updates on her writing projects. And there is a Patreon called the Dope Poet Society that you can subscribe to. You can also donate to her fund on Venmo. I'll let her share those links as well. But right now, let's go ahead and welcome another debut. I love it. Here we are. We've been doing this since April of 2020, and we're still getting people on here for the first time. But obviously, it's good to have you joining us. Bianca, everyone. Welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. So yes, my name is Bianca. I'll go ahead and post the links after. I'm going to be sharing 2 poems. One, I know Geraldissimo, he did a workshop this past Sunday. So for his request, I'll do that piece. The theme was about, among other things, was duality. So I'm going to be touching on the duality of love on the spectrum. So this first poem, it's an elemental ode, and it's entitled Weathering with You. Good morning from one horizon to another. You're my world, my stars, my moon, my seas, and everything in between. You're the ray of sunlight I need to warm my cold heart. You're the reason why birds migrate. To remind us nothing good ever just stays in one place. We're always on the move for something more than just us. You're the wind, giving me embraces wherever life takes me. You're the reason why we have seasons, because change is inevitable, but we always know how to come back to each other like we never left, orbiting love like it doesn't exist anywhere else. You're just the thing I need at the end of the day, because I know chasing sunsets with you creates beautiful tomorrows like the future was made for us. You're the relief I feel, like how you take your shoes and socks off after a long day and feel the carpet beneath you, reminding you to feel grounded because you're home now. You're a warm meal every night. You're the comfort I seek when I turn off the light. You're you and I'm me. Total opposites, but our thoughts are so alike. The very way our duality is never a duel. Because of you, light years turns into forevers and the galaxy seems so close whenever you're around. Good night from one sky to another. And then this next one is entitled Lovesick. And it's about how love can sometimes mirror being on a boat, and it's sometimes not always a good thing. So here we go. Love conquers all. Love conquers me. Love conquers us. Does love really conquer all? Can it cover up crevices of darkness peeking through, trying to digest the light it wasn't meant for? Can love show me ways to get to where I'm supposed to go besides through pain and healing first? The space my body takes up is a bridge, filling the gap between a rock and a hard place. Only concrete thoughts are welcomed here. Because I'm tired of floating and then sinking and then gasping for air. Love is finicky, like a fish out of water, baited by promises and trapped by vows, pulsating in a bucket filled with hope, like it kept trying to catch itself. Love creates laughter and sadness. It's a wild card of wisdom. It gives us a deck of cards. We never know how to deal. Love conquers any conversation. But we never know if it's showing us shadows painted on the illuminated walls, or if it's a bloodline baited with broken promises. Love can be as deep as the ocean, but seems to only thrive in shallow waters, enough to see from the surface, drowning growth and washing impurities of the conquered. Conquered, like how the conquistadors loved on my people. So now we carry crucifixes of their names on the backs of our native tongue that now speaks of blended love, tongue twisted with confusion, tornadoes of troubled truth. And although I know it's tradition to forget, the memory of pain is embedded into my spine because my body carries the stories of my ancestors. So when it rains, it pours. And when it rains, my ancestors weep, weeping woefully as love conquers the corners of my mind, connoisseurs of the cerebral cortex that composes our consciousness, interlocking with hook, line, and sinker. I'm sinking, I'm floating, I'm gasping for air, but everyone stares like I've just reached the bottom of the fish tank. Love has put me in a spectator sport. Everyone stares like love can't be fluid, as if love can't run through us. Only away from us, love conquers water. The tide's offering the gifts we think we need until it drowns them in tsunami sorrows. So when we talk about it, we can laugh until breathing becomes a gift. Or how love conquers women through social media gratification, only to lure them into a world of trauma and left with cadavers of regret at the hands of men who had no intention of giving their hearts away, so they took hers instead. The love we embody always takes somebody. This is the love I know. This is how I remember it. The way a fish is still a fish even after it's been gutted. And do you think the fish forgave you? See, love can conquer anything. It can conquer your heart like a cancer, eating away until you're nothing but a vessel of your mistakes, disguising themselves as something beautiful. That kintsugi type of love, like shattered but lacquered with gold, to highlight how love could murder you into living. Love conquers your mind. Love tricks you into thinking that maybe, just maybe, you can sleep on a heavy heart, anchoring you to the ocean floor, swimming with the world's wonders, wondering if you'll ever be good enough. Does love really conquer all? Because I love thee with the love I seem to lose. Thank you guys. My name is Bianca, and I'll go ahead and I'll drop my links.
Wow, amazing performance of the poetry too. I loved it. So really quick, so you have your Instagram. Tell us about your Patreon really quick.
Yeah, so my Patreon, there's 3 tiers. The first one, it's the canvas, the muse, and the artist. So the first one, it's going to be about fundamentals, about just getting comfortable writing, getting comfortable in our own poetic skin. A lot of people still feel like they're, they have to fit this character or this ambiance. So it's just learning how to just be forgiving, because I know the world does enough punishing. So it has those 3 tiers. The middle and the third tier, it's about perfecting your craft. If you want to take it seriously and you want to take it to that next level, I offer workshops for those. So every month is a theme. So we'll be tackling certain things on healing and just being a better version of yourself. I know this month, we're working on the rise of our inner phoenix. So we're going to be doing a lot of different prompts and getting comfortable, just being uncomfortable and feeling safe. So it's just another safe space for anyone that wants to be interested. It's not just going to be my work. I'm also going to be highlighting out a lot of different poets, because we are a community. I couldn't have done it by myself. So yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you so much. And if you do have any links, please feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll forward that on our YouTube page for this show. Yes, I'm glad you said those things. That sounds really interesting. That's kind of a unique approach that I've kind of yet to see, but I think it really works. And you just really spoke to it. We're all a community because we're all like, even though this is your first time here, we have our connections, right? We talked about Stacy Dyson and like, Finn mentioned you last week. So it's just great. Welcome. Whenever you are free, you are more than welcome to keep joining us. Please do. As we used to do all the time, thanks to Nick Paleologos, we would always start the chant, one of us, one of us. But you already knew that. We don't have to chant that for you to know that. So yeah, you're welcome whenever. Thank you so much. Yeah, you can definitely start it in the chat though. That's always fun. Anyway. What performances? I'm just it's just fun because we get to have like a front row seat every week at these online mics for some of the best. Like I love it. I love it. We're gonna keep it going. In fact, we're gonna come back to El Paso. That's right. It's Monday, which means it's time for Mr. Monday Night. The man, he holds many titles on BWOMS, but you know what? You guys already know what's up. Let's go ahead and welcome to the stage, Mr. Kit Ren.
What's up, Richie? What's up, everyone? You watching this in the future? Hello. You look good. That Ozempic. I don't know. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I'll do 3 of mine and then the cover poem. I sit in the forest talking of death, which is monotonous. Everyone in the forest already knows about death and is trying not to point out all the things I'm getting wrong. The trees all know about death. They make a pageant of it every winter. They are desperate to teach, but instead they just dazzle. They regard me as the loud at the wedding. They are unsure whose cousin I am. The animals know death. They associate it with me. They run or they rattle. They treat me like a door-to-door salesman, loudly proclaiming their annoyance in order to divert a stronger fear. I am speaking shit and nonsense. I know it too. I know death, but I pretend I don't because I want to embarrass it socially. I want it to feel anxious when it approaches me, to shirk away like a clumsy servant and not remind me why I can't ask for advice from the only other person with my job title. I know death. I pretend I don't. Instead, I gossip maliciously. I lie. I tell my lies to the bare trees and the hibernating snakes, willing to trade looking foolish for feeling powerful. And now a nice little fill-in outline. I have never felt like the oldest in the room. Youth has power, but not much authority. All of my predictions end in doom. My baby face is charming, but soon it'll be really funny when they ask for my ID. But I still don't feel like the oldest in the room. Every silence makes me dread the coming boom. This is read as youth acting cynically, every one of his predictions ending in doom. I've seen the next generation move from morning to noon, like mine, inventing irony, then discovering sincerity. Yet I still do not feel like the oldest in the room. But the kids today, they know I don't Zoom. They post mocking photographs of Steve Buscemi. They laugh at my predictions ending in doom. And the elders think my panic, inexperienced folly, one that priests see every day in their laity. I will never be seen as the oldest in the room. That's my prediction. It ends in doom. And I'm gonna try my hand at some new shit. Just an ode to the other thing that gets me out at night, because I don't just hang out anymore. It's something that the pandemic sort of robbed me of the urge to do. So like, I'm either playing trivia or I'm doing one of these. Those are the only times I'm out. So in this, I guess I'm trying to merge those two things. But by the end of a trivia night, everyone is one big team, marveling at everyone who got it right, thankful and proud. Meanwhile, the individual teams themselves grow fractious, into dividing camps, each certain that their answer, ignored or held in, would have been the difference. Two simultaneous truths. We are not monoliths, but we could be. It'd be kind of easy. Am I giving in to the ancient folly of pretending my favorite hobby is good for society? Of course I am. This is another lesson of trivia. I am not above folly. I am measurably imperfect. I do pretty well anyway. There are fields I do not know, and I don't have to because I have friends. My favorite lesson from trivia. Everyone is at least kind of smart. Friends have demurred from my chosen night out. They've said, oh, I'm no good at that. I say you might be. You just don't sit around and ask yourself questions all day. That's the big difference between you and me. And then the question is, who is the lady who sings the Havana song? And then I need you, because even though it comes up once a month, I can never remember Camila Cabello's name. And then you rise simultaneously, the only one who could, and one of dozens who did. Recently, a young fellow gave me his prize because he was so moved that I said, congratulations. He said, I deserve this. I said, no, you beat me. Take your spoils. He said, no, you deserve it. If you see a wan young man named Cody, he is a good boy, but he is a sentimental drunk. The world is not kind to such people. But trivia is. Trivia is how knowledge loves you back. And for my cover poem, I'm going to do one I've done before by Frank O'Hara. Not sure why we kept writing after Frank O'Hara. He seems to have kind of solved this, but you know, Having a Coke with You by Frank O'Hara. It's even more fun than going to San Sebastian, Irún, Hendaye, Biarritz, Bayonne, or being sick to my stomach on the Traversa de Garcia in Barcelona. Partly because in your orange shirt, you look like a better, happier Saint Sebastian. Partly because of my love for you. Partly because of your love for yogurt. Partly because of the fluorescent orange tulips around the birches. Partly because of the secrecy our smiles take on before people and statuary. It is hard to believe when I'm with you that there can be anything as still, as solemn, as unpleasantly definitive as statuary, when right in front of it, in the warm New York 4 o'clock light, we are drifting back and forth between each other like a tree breathing through its spectacles. And the portrait show seems to have no faces in it at all, just paint. You suddenly wonder why in the world anyone ever did them. I look at you and I would rather look at you than all the portraits in the world. Except possibly for the Polish writer, occasionally. And anyway, it's in the Frick, which thanks heavens you haven't gone to yet, so we can go together for the first time. And the fact that you move so beautifully more or less takes care of futurism. Just as at home, I never think of the nude descending a staircase, or at a rehearsal, a single drawing of Leonardo or Michelangelo that used to wow me. And what good does all the research of the Impressionists do them when they never got the right person to stand near the tree when the sun sank? Or for that matter, Marino Marini, when he didn't pick the rider as carefully as the horse. It seems they were all cheated of some marvelous experience, which is not going to go wasted on me, which is why I'm telling you this. Gonna go right into the flux for seasoned professionals over here. Even though we need to print out a new one of these. Instagram at Kit Ran Away. This site's dead, don't worry about it. You can follow me on Goodreads, get my opinion on contemporary literature. I like most of it. But when I don't like it, I get angry, and those are the ones that are fun to read. So like either way, you benefit. I'm just over here reading. Ko-fi.com/KitRen. There's a fun little blog with essays about the history of American football, the National Football League. You can find me on Facebook easy enough. You can drop me an email or drop something in the tip jar by typing my email into PayPal. You know? And it's in my lap. It's not behind me. The Tumblewords Project is continuing on its mission to help people write, to provide free writing workshops centered, if not necessarily geographically, then at least spiritually in the El Paso, Las Cruces, Juarez metro area. Our host this week will be Kelly Mary McAllister, our friend from Toronto. I believe in honor of the Barbie movie, she's called this workshop Into the Toy Box. The week after that, Fernando Antonio Montejano will be leading us with Worlds Within Worlds. Be very cool. Be a very fun thing to do. And on the 29th, it will be Vale Larkin, the poet and playwright from Pittsburgh, who frequently haunts these corners as well. We'll be leading a workshop on E.E. Cummings and concrete poetry. And August is jam-packed too with stars. Local folks like Aldo Amperon and Carlos Fidel Espinoza, and our far-flung folks like Mike Sindler and Maureen Medina. That's her name. I've only met her once, so I forgot her name, but she loved her time at Tumblewords and immediately signed up to do it, and got her for August. All right. Oh, I plugged too much. I plugged too many Tumblewords. I went through the whole 2 months, and I said I want to do that. I say a lot of things, and you can't necessarily trust me. Don't let a poet lie to you. Back to you.
It's
Richie.
awesome kid. Yeah. I know, I can't blame you, man. I remember back in the day, Donna would like start riffing off like the next like 4 or 5 months she did planned, and you know why? She's like, there's a lot of wheeling and dealing behind the scenes to make those happen. So you gotta like give people their props and definitely highlight that. So yeah, thank you, Kit. Also, that Franco Hero piece, it reminds me of Matt, our friend Matt Gatsby, who's been here before. I think he even did a cover of that poem. It's like having a cupcake with you or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but sharing a cupcake with you, which was with his niece, I think, a tribute to his niece. But all right, hey, we got Tez in the house, adding it to the list, indeed. But right now, we're gonna go from El Paso to New York, Jersey, and it's been a while, but we got Daniel Fernandez back in the house. You've been here before, so it's really, really cool to have you. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Happy Monday. What's going on?
Hello, happy Monday to you as well. I join when I can, but for me, it's like almost midnight. So I always have, these days where I can, these days that I can't. So it's a little funky with the schedules. I'll drop the link tree in the chat though, and that will have my Instagram, my Reddit, Facebook, and the link to my book that was released a couple months ago, Emotional Defibrillator. Anyways, I have 2 pieces today. I'll try to, make it quick. I have 2 new ones, An Angel Without Wings, and one I just finished performing in New Eurekan Cafe on Monday, open mic, and that is Brian, What Is This? So I'll start with An Angel Without Wings. One is more like a serious tone, and the other one is more like a playful, joyful story. Anyways, An Angel Without Wings. I'm sorry for not going to my high school graduation. I made that choice because I lost the motivation. I hide with my demons. Some say that's isolation. When dreams evanesce, it's nearly impossible to find inspiration. I put extreme effort into school and didn't feel rewarded. My father didn't see me last time because he had things that were more important. I listened to the words that stabbed my throat like an informant. Years pass and I am on the brink of unemployment. Don't be pissed at him because I understand the responsibility. Keeping food on the table is difficult without liquidity. It's laborious to save enough for utilities. Plus, it's tough on the mind as you suffer mentally. Loneliness can age the human body. I can't be efficient without a day of coffee. Secrets are venomous and all right filthy. Just knowing one can make you guilty. Not everyone has the same heart as you. Raising a son to understand everyone's point of view. Write about pain since everyone is scared of the truth. Holding back emotions our conscience doesn't approve. Generous and easygoing. Your smile is contagious, never loathing. The atmosphere is so refreshing you feel like you're floating. Always busy, always roving. My credit accounts were closed, but I was up to speed. Sure, I was late before, but payments were always received. Now I have to start over as my credit bleeds and deal with my overwhelming self-esteem. I appreciate the love and helping me reach my full potential. Sorry about these words. I know the pain is confidential. It all started in third grade when I became sentimental. I grabbed the blank sheet of paper and held that magic pencil. Thanks to the one and only, beautiful and diverting, but when angry, a coyote. Funny enough, your patience is always present playing Monopoly. You shine like a flare, making other light sources unnecessary. The more you fight back, the harder it'll be. That's life for you. At least that's how it is for me. Not to mention that success is never guaranteed. So in order to make it, you need to be a little greedy. Life sped up and the bills started to bite. As much as I hate the concept, by law, they are right. So I work my ass off day and night, slashing debt until I realize that I can't afford to keep on the lights. I wish I had a warning though, which could have saved the surprise. It's okay, Mom. I now know why. Stress arise and it weakens our mind. It's not easy to be wise on what we can't advise. Don't cry. We have done that too many times. I despise agony in disguise. Chase a high as my problems divide, residing within the pages of what my heart can transcribe. You're always given the benefit of the doubt to those who don't deserve it. Open to help if it means there's no conflict. Imprisoned by anxiety, which causes happiness to drift, unable to balance the two, and yet they coexist. Those who give the best advice usually have the most problems. I respect all of what was done to make me the man I've become, despite my issues with pollen and feelings that go numb. I write stories and poems without knowing where the ideas come from. I just don't understand why the nicest people are punished the worst. I understand the lesson, but damn, the journey hurts. My spirit is in my books as my soul lurks, praying for an opportunity and hoping it'll work. You're an angel without wings, haunted by your sins. Success is visible, but we never know where to begin. Our vision is hazy with regrets that pinch, waiting for our luck to change or switch. Soon we'll be out of the water, above the horizon where the trees are taller, with enough cash to get you to the best doctor, instead of being worried as I count all of my quarters. Addicted to being optimistic since it keeps the path moving stronger. Once you lose hope, the chances of achieving it become smaller. The things we do to stretch a dollar. I am making my way now that I am an author. It's never easy, so I push through the obstacles as they get harder, keeping the future in mind because one day we'll be living in color. Thank you. My second. Second poem. There it is. Brian, what is this? Brian, what is this? I hope it's not what I think it is. I was cleaning in your room and it low-key smelled like shit. Like a dog, I used my nose to find out what it is. It's weed, Mom. Sorry you had to find out that way. I wanted to tell you, but never had the time of day. Why were you in my room anyways? What happened to privacy? I had the door closed for a reason, but no, you barge in like a SWAT team. Really? Weed? How could you? I came into this country to bring you a better life and to subdue. Scared of you going to high school all confused. I taught you to stay away from drugs. Now look at you. Plus, I don't need your permission to clean your room. I am your mother and cleaning is something I know you don't do. It's 2029, Mom, and weed has been around for a while. Legalized, I mean, and it's nowhere near hostile. Let me explain myself before you put me on trial. I knew you wouldn't understand, Mom, but I'm no longer a child. You are a child to me and always will be. You could be 40 with 3 kids and still be my baby. I care about you, and my love is crazy. I don't want to see you zoning out of reality. I understand that, Mom, but you should hear me out. You're just talking without knowing what you're complaining about. It's honestly harmless if you're cautious about the amount. Plus, I do this alone and not with a crowd. I understand Facebook may convince you otherwise. So will Google, but I'm not that kind of guy. Addicted to drugs because weed isn't like that. I use it when I like to, sure, but not having it won't be a huge impact. How long have you been doing this behind my back? I'll throw out your flower in the trash to see what you think about that. I appreciate your honesty for when my questions were asked. If you try to lie your way out of it, you would have been whacked. Are you doing anything else that I am unaware of? No, Mom, I'm not diving into the world of drugs, and you better not fucking throw it out. That shit ain't cheap. Watch your language when you're speaking to me. Sorry, Mom, just don't throw it out, please. I know that you hate weed and may possibly be worried. There is no need to seize. Just believe me. Do research and my motive will be perceived. I've been doing this for about 6 months or so. Dispensaries everywhere, so there are plenty of places to go. Edibles too, but the effects start slow. Once it hits, though, your plans will be postponed. Just to get your facts straight, psychedelics were decriminalized about 5 years ago, and weed is not okay. The world is tripping on shrooms and blotters. Meanwhile, marijuana is recommended by most doctors. The peace and feeling you get is worth spending a couple of dollars. And don't worry, Mom, I drink plenty of water. It helps those who have anxiety. It doesn't erase the depression, but it helps fade from the complexity. The high may delay my actions, but it's mental clarity. I do it occasionally, so be proud it's not something I do regularly. Plants that heal the wounds our emotions can't resist. Sometimes it's just for fun as the feelings nourish. We have walls that a high can breach. Relax and unwind as agony is squeezed. I know that you hate the idea of a buzz. One day when time allows, we will discuss. I respect your rules and hope in my actions you can trust. Don't hate my choices for when my life needs to adjust. To relax and cool down, it's a deed I would suggest. The only downside that I see is not passing a damn test. Hold my worries in a bottle as my patients are being pressed. Don't forget, Mom, no one is immune to sadness. Thank you.
Hey man, that was awesome. It's been a while since, like a dialogue piece. That was great. First of all, so thanks for sharing your stuff. Glad you could join us. What you got anything else coming up you want to promote really quick?
I will be joining the poetry festival that's coming in about 2 or 3 weeks in New York, Governor's Island, I believe. So I'll be on both days, Saturday and Sunday. And it'll be my first time there, so it'll be fun. And
Awesome.
I think that should be it. Everything else should be in the link tree that I sent.
Pretty cool. Thanks for sharing that. And again, thanks for making it. I know it gets late, so next time we'll
Thanks
even
for
try and
having
bump
me.
you on earlier. Yeah, take it easy, Daniel. Appreciate it. Awesome. One of my lights just went out. It was so fire. The rhythm was so much. Just like, all right. So, what is up, everyone? Once again, welcome to our Monday night online open mic. We do this every single Monday. We've been doing it every single Monday since April of 2020. In that tradition, we've had so many people join us, and to this week, we're still having new people join us. So that's always amazing. We're going to go ahead, and as we've done time again, time to get international. We're going to visit our friend Julian Matthews in Malaysia. Are you still here with us? Let me see. Yeah, there you are. What is up, man? How's it going?
Hi.
Hey.
I've got 2 poems today. One is a cover. I need to share screen if it's possible. Oh, okay. I haven't got it at my background. So this is a cover by a Malaysian poet named Cecil Rajendra. My Message by Cecil Rajendra. And now you ask, what is my message? I say with noble cough, I'm a poet, not a postman. I have no message, but I want the cadences of my verse to crack. The carapace of indifference pry open torpid eyelids tip-coated with silver. I want syllables that will dance pirouette in the fantasies of nymphets. I want vowels that float into the dreams of old men. I want my consonants to project kaleidoscopic visions on the screens of the blind and on the eardrums of the deaf. I want pentameters that sing like 10,000 mandolins. I want such rhythms as will shake pine, angsana, oak, and meranti out of their Pacific slumber, uproot themselves, hurtle over buzzsaw and bulldozer, and rush to crush with long, heavy toes merchants of defoliants. I want stanzas that would put a Sten gun in the paw of polar bear and tiger, a harpoon under the fin of every seal, whale, and dolphin, arm them to stem the massacre of their number. I want every punctuation, full stop, comma, and semicolon to turn into a grain of barley, millet, maize, wheat, or rice in the mouths of our hungry. I want each and every metaphor to metamorphose into a rooftop over the heads of our homeless. I want the assonances of my songs to put smiles on the faces of the sick, the destitute, and the lonely, pump adrenaline into the veins of every farmer and worker, the battle-scarred and the weary. And yes, I want my poems to leap out from the page, rip off the covers of my books, and march forthrightly to that sea of somnolent humanity. Lay bare the verbs, vowels, syllables, consonants, and say, these are my sores, my wounds. This is my distended belly. Here I went ragged and hungry. In that place I bled, was tortured, and on this electric cross, I died. Brothers, sisters, here I am. That was my message by Cecil Rajendra. Here's one of my own, still in draft. Trigger warning comes with a trigger warning. Trigger warning. Don't try to woo me with first impressions. Instead, tell me about your last depression. Let me wallow in your revelatory trauma. Let me get ideas from your suicide ideation. Read me lines again about how you almost died. Show me the zigzags on your arms that tell the story of how you relieved yourself when the lightning struck. Show me the brokenness stitched into your skin when the storm sliced you open. Tell me again about your self-inflicted persecution, how you made bad decisions about sex, how you beat the X out of you, how you patched your shredded heart in its rib bone cage until you could hear it palpitate again. Tell me about how you thought about death so often she became the impatient usher that waited for you at Hell's Auditorium just after the curtains fell, just after the last act, just after the needle went in, just after the shot went off. How she hovered over your ravenous, interrupterine wings as the ambulance sirens got louder and louder and whispered in your inner ear in gentle tones like your dead grandmother, come, child, come. We're waiting for you. I see you still shaking, breathless, with her behind you, sated, licking lips, sitting on a pile of charred flesh, crushed bones, glowering and roaring. Another poet, hear the howl, throw an oboe in a tin bowl, hear it clatter, hear the grinding and the chatter. I didn't even know death liked rhyming. And then you're done. You are enveloped in your truth, raw and tender, and we reach out, empathize, and offer to hug, but only momentarily until the moment has thankfully passed, and we return to sender our unclaimed truth. And all the half-truths in our poems rise like smoke, embers smoldering in fictional mirrors, and we know full well why we can never, ever be you. One can't really cast shadows when one is just too scared to even get under the goddamn light. So this poem comes with preachy, pedantic, fourth wall advice. Poetry is therapeutic, but not therapy. Safe spaces are overrated. They are clickbaited. Please seek a professional after the confessional. If you are hooked, it's because you're addicted. Stringing up a noose of your own unraveling, drowning in your own pool of quicksand, bending backwards in people-pleasing hell, pole dancing in a greasy show and tell, I see you. I break for you, so please take a break, switch off so you can find the light out there. And in here, inside of you, may you find its glow before you flame out. May we each strike a match to light the wick of authenticity amid all this fakery. I send you peace in the war with yourself, but the battle is yours and yours alone. And our battles are cocked, ready, in the chamber, awaiting a trigger. Let it go off. Amen. Thank you.
Well, I think you just went off, Julian Matthews, everyone. Thanks for coming through, always with the quick switch off. Thanks for sharing that. And I appreciate that format of reading because we get to follow along with it. What is going on, everyone? Once again, welcome to the open mic. That was Julian Matthews. And if you want to share your link in chat so people can check you out, I'll go ahead and forward that. If you're watching on YouTube, I see we got a few peeps watching on YouTube. A good number of you, actually. Good to see you guys. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. We do this every Monday. So if you're watching and maybe want to ever participate yourself, then you're more than welcome to at some point during the show. You can find a link in the description to join us. But we got a couple more peeps for us tonight's show, that is. And I have so many windows open. Let me go ahead and find the list here. We're going to go ahead and continue with tonight's list. And we're going to go to San Francisco for our next performer. We got Tanish in the house. What's going on, Tanish? Hey, it's been a while. Happy Monday. Good to see you again.
Happy Monday. Yeah, you too. It's nice to see everyone again. Feel like I'm not really at open mics as much these days. But I just have one that's pretty long. So just bear with me. Okay. During that period of utter despair, of walking with an unknown force carrying me, that is not unlike those cheesy photo posters of footprints disappearing in the sand and Jesus carrying the person. My sister was trying to get a hold of me, saying what is wrong and me asking nothing why. And her saying, I know something is wrong, I feel it. And I remember how creepy that was. And I was high because all you can do after that realization is numb the pain until you can feel it fully without breaking. I was outside in my back stairs in Oakland meditating on this weird cousin of mine who left me to watch a soccer match by myself we had planned to see together because she and her sister were 2 hours late in 2011 in a bar in Lower Haight. She came somehow and got in the code to the garage and back area of the small complex, and I was mid-meditation of confronting this realization with nature on my side when that distant cousin who lived in Berkeley showed up and I looked up at her voice. I looked right up and this cousin was filming me, and it turned out to be my sister on FaceTime. And I yelled, it's the female genital mutilation. And my sister said, what? And I forced my cousin, my mom's friend's daughter, back when they were kids. My mom's friend's daughter back when they were kids in India, out of the gate. Luckily, she didn't have the code, or maybe she did. And the next day, her sister came through the back. The one whose kids kept them from meeting me until the soccer match was over. And I sent her away after some yelling, and then my sister came. She flew no doubt first class like that time. We were at my cousin's wedding in Florida, and my brother had his first psychotic break. He has schizophrenia now. He was 16 then, I was 22. And the gleam in her eye of glee that something bad was happening, how she used my card to buy a flight back to Cincinnati to deal with him. How that bill on my card was around $600. And I pieced it together later that it was first class. How she wanted my life to be his so bad, which somehow vindicated her from my moving so far away. And she was there suddenly prepared to buy a ticket back home with her if that's what you want. of her not believing me when I said I was a victim of female genital mutilation, her wanting me to be on a psychotic break. She never could she believe my pain, and how she had my cousin, a psychiatrist, who I stayed with to help her after her fibroid surgery here in Ramon. Well, she had my sister's back, was backing her up, and they were on the phone together, and I've since blocked them all on social media, all of them, their parents too, and how my sister somehow called my psychiatrist at the time, called my old roommate from before I had left for Chile. Like, how did she get their numbers? How did she get their names? To tell them I was off my rocker when all I needed was validation from my realization at the age of 37 that I had lived most of my life without a clitoris, and I suppose under the wrong hands, the wrong mind, I would be considered overdramatic. But all I needed was someone to be there for me during my grief and not try to frame me as insane for feeling despair for my own body. And I think there is a special kind of hell for women who turn their backs on other women who are survivors of female genital mutilation, especially those who abandon these women who ask for support. I will not go into the fallout too much, except to say that the last thing she sent me was a box of stuff at Christmas in 2020. And after everything that had happened, how her mouth and the vile words that came out of it prompted my cousin from India to turn against my well-being without direct communication with me. I took that box of whatever she tried to buy me with for the last time and dropped it, sealed, several blocks away from my apartment, fearing perhaps irrationally that it was laced, whatever it was, with COVID, but with her ruthless vengefulness. I'm sure with some element of Munchausen syndrome by proxy. I'm not sure just how irrational that fear really is. And a few months later, I moved and stopped all communication with them eventually, and so they don't know where I live now. And now it is my duty to spirit and God and nature and those who have helped me that I forget them fully and let my mind recover from ever knowing them and the mind patterns I developed from letting them in my life for far too long than what was healthy for me, which dates back to my inception. That's it. Thank you. I feel like I should end on a nice note.
It's beautiful. Your bravery, everything,
Yeah.
your sensitivity, your compassion. That's one of the greatest pieces I've heard.
Really love it. Yeah. Tanisha, if you want to, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'll just do this one. It's short.
Okay, cool.
It's called Even Secrets Get to See the Sun, or What's Your Shadow Doing Now? My shadow is pure light, is an electric light orchestra. If the orchestra were made of bare-skinned people, made of music, made of lilies belting, operatic from root through stamen, petals arching in the evening after soft sunset. My shadow drips nakedly to the rhythmic strings of habanero with unfettered feeling, full of meaning. The Pacific Ocean, keeping afloat driftwood words, is draped in a twinkling, the very same inkling seen in Maria Callas's clear eyes earnest, the grace of her shoulders capricious. A hummingbird visited me today, flapping 6 feet in front of me, the rhythm of a dog's tail thumping on wood floor. Sitting on the top step, gazing down into my burning tobacco, I thought the hummingbird was. This creature of joy was. I don't know what I thought it was, and the sound started again. Tiny helicopter. So I finally raised my head, then my eyes to pumping chest, wings hover, This being of lightness of air startled me into recoiling delight. Then it looked to its left and its right and flew that way like a missile. What else hides in the shadow waiting to reveal itself? A sunlit tune of a foretold fantasy. Sick hearts woven into ancestry. Nothing stays hidden forever. See all the secrets shine. There we go.
All right, thank you for both of those pieces. I did definitely love both. But yeah, thanks for that as well. Do you have anything you want to promote or share right now with anyone watching?
There's Beast Crawl if you're in the East Bay or if you're in the Bay Area. Beast Crawl is coming up. It's the 22nd of July, the day before I turn 40, which is cool. And then another reading a week after that in Berkeley. If you're in the Bay, just let me know. I think I put my email and stuff, or my ways to contact me.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, any links? Thank you so much, Tanish. And yeah, just to repeat, if you're in the Bay, just say hey. I had to say it. Sorry. All right, we're gonna go ahead and continue. We're gonna go from coast to coast. Well, coast, I know. We're gonna go to Washington, D.C., where we've got our master rhymer and jokesmith. His jokes are on levels that I can't even fathom. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to go ahead and bring him back on the stage once again. Welcome, Ed, Poetastic. What's going on, man?
What's up, my brother? Like no other with verse like thunder. Woo! Always burning is right under. Well, no, sorry. My name is Ed Poetastic, feeling fantastic. Please give me time to enjoy my rhyme for all the sublime. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 jokes and 3 poems. The first joke is, what is a crow's favorite beverage? Coffee. What did the green giant told his guests? Hope you're admiring the greenery. What was Mr. Potato Head's boxer name? Mashed potato. What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer. Why is Peter Pan always fly? He never lands. Why shouldn't you trust stairs? They're always up to something. What do you call fake noodles? Impasta. What do you call an alligator in a vest? Why do salt hate jokes? Insulting. Thank you. Hope everyone enjoys that. All right, my first poem, it's called Knock Knock. Knock knock. Who, what, when, where? Knock knock. Who's there? Knock knock. Should I care? Knock knock. Do I dare? Knock knock. Dang it, the sun's glare. Knock knock. Yes, I can hear, I'm aware. Knock knock. I do nothing, I swear. Knock knock. I don't need a prayer. Knock knock. My house doesn't need repair. Knock knock. I don't need cookware. Knock knock. I don't need an armchair. Knock knock. I'm losing my hair. Knock knock. Don't have money to spare. Knock knock. I know life isn't fair. Knock knock. Oh my God, I'm in a nightmare. Knock knock. Are you a grizzly bear? Knock knock. I'm only in my underwear. Knock knock. Please be air. Knock knock. I have nothing to share. Knock knock. It isn't a daycare. Knock knock. Yes, I am here. Are you still there? Thank you. And I got a fair one. This is called They Have Landed. Woo! All right. To the American people, the heirs have landed like advanced and evil. Oh my God, look heavy-handed. They're coming down. UFOs cover the skies. They're not making any sounds. Oh my God, the dark's in their eyes. They look skinny and frail. Do I meet our leader? I'd say more, but I mean Taco Bell. Oh my God, they're a pentameter. They seem to be doing the moonwalk. There's some stellar moves. Oh my God, they can stand and talk. Hope our bond can improve. It appears the guys move on towards them. Oh my, it's the Confederate flag. Oh my God, looks American and dim. Let's pray if he doesn't brag. He said, we don't like your kind here. Oh my God, the gray alien radius blaster. Oh my God, man, cover your rear. Looks like a huge disaster. I know what you're thinking. I'm not doing a freaking thing. My patient is shrinking. The gray alien timber held by a string. The gray alien blast to the sky. Dim Jim ran and hide. I felt like I almost died. What a crazy and unbelievable ride. Out of the sky came Godzilla. Now breathing, stomping about. Why couldn't it be Gilla the gorilla? Oh no, everybody scream and shout. Everybody's panicking. Oh boy, what can go wrong? Oh no, King Kong, aka the Monkey King, looks cranky and strong. There seemed to be a man with a billboard. It reads, Kong versus Godzilla. Place your bets. Oh my God, people come in herds. Hey, on Kong. Everything is here, close my best. There's something related, but send cash to my Cash App. My life is dead just like you. Come on, so some low, where is that? I want to order something for Jumbo Juice. I know I should be scared, but who doesn't want to get rich? Screw the gecko. Go Kong. Make that giant gecko your bitch. Oh yeah, here comes the gong. Goes to the rest to Kong. God, why'd I buy popcorn? Come on, you big Gabe. Don't take too long. Siri, I said how to make popcorn, not porn. King Kong swing goes around. Nearby skelly tail. It's like one big freakish merry-go-round. In straight detail, Kong, aim for electric grounds. Godzilla's getting angry. Oh my God, smoke is coming from his mouth. Oh my God, here comes the time Bob Frankly. He's like me eating a plate of Brussels sprouts. Godzilla's breathing huge. Sorry about that. Godzilla's breathing huge beam, missing King Kong by a hair. I know it's your steam. Godzilla, that's what's chilling and unfair. Wait, where are they staring at? Billboards for donuts and burritos. Don't stand there, look at that. They stop finding. Oh my God, I'm gonna explode. Oh my God, Godzilla's giving me the finger. I need a giant robot ASAP. You big green cold-blooded stinker. I can't believe I saw that. Now they're holding hands. They're probably getting something to eat. I don't really understand. We're up to the brawl and heat. Don't go away. I bet everything on you. I pray on this day. Hope my craters go higher than the moon. What happened to the great aliens? And Santa says, Earthlings, I owe you. Oh my God, so much chaos has transcended. What are you possibly gonna do? Thank you. And last but not least, this is called a little short piece, to say least. This is called I Redeem Myself. We're not perfect. Why do you try? It makes me sick. Why? It's a convoluted trick. Flaws won't say goodbye. Regrets can stick whenever you live or die. Hope this can click. You don't have to lie. No more heavy bricks. Imperfection is in your eyes. Please learn very quick. You're not perfect. There's no prize. It's not a spiky kick. Learn for your darkened sunrise. Don't be a prick or a dick. Flaws are free golden advice. If you don't learn, you're a dipstick. Thank you.
All right, and thank you. I'm always so impressed, man. Your ability to keep that vocal range, like it hurts my throat hearing you do that one. But yeah, you bust out the classics today with some crazy jokes, funny punchlines. I love it, Ed. How can people?
Oh yeah.
You already know, man. You already know what I'm gonna ask. How can people follow and support you online, Ed?
You can follow me. I'm sorry, I didn't turn my voice. You can follow me by supporting this wonderful open mic that makes such a delight on this wonderful spotlight. Everyone to follow me, Pills for Free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman and my IG is Eddie Foreman92. And remember, the mic is right. I'll be there, my protesting insights. All right. But I hope everyone stay positive and blessed. Never stop speeding water with words outside of your chest. Now start being and looking and being your best. Woohoo!
Oh man, Ed, that thank you, Ed. Appreciate you as always. That made me laugh so loud that I think I scared my neighbors. Like, what the? That was funny, man.
It's okay, you can blame it on me.
Do you have neighbors? Are they always like broomsticking it up? Like, what are you doing in there? No,
They're little night owls, you know. Though.
Oh hell yeah!
No, well, they're not really, you know. They're a little keep it to themselves, little night owls. If so, I'll just call my room and say, "Hey, My name is Ed Potasco. Fantastic.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
gee. Man, we should do an ASMR mic where we all just kind of talk like this into the mic. Thank you for the idea, Ed. Appreciate it. I guess I can. I don't even need to yell because it's Zoom. Its compression software will bring it up to a listenable volume. Yo, what is going on? We are here for the online mic. I got some homies that are still doing some tech check, and they're asking me about sound stuff. So just as a little Zoom tip. If you are a musician, you want to check your settings and make sure that you can find in the sound and the actual options, there's an option to enable original sound. If you click on that, it should allow for a more full recording of your music when you play it onto a Zoom call. There's a newer version that actually is for live music. So mess around with it a little bit. So Javi and Garrett, I know you guys are working on it so you can hear me. If you're watching the YouTube, hopefully you guys got that. We still have a little bit of room on the list, but we are quickly coming to the end. So if you can't make it tonight, that's fine. But right now we're going to go ahead and travel to Los Angeles for our next performer. Gash is 2019. You can follow him online on Instagram. You can also type that into Facebook and find it. He's got a couple books out, including I Am Not Your Chihuahua. Let's go and welcome to the stage, Mr. Somok. What's going on, man?
Thank you all. Thank you for hosting me here tonight, Richie and Mr. Monday Night Kit Ren. I want to thank you guys. I have one and one. Tonight's topic is unruly, abject terrains, unsanitary bodies, and the symbiosis of disposition. In the depths of chaos, where boundaries dissolve, unruly, abject terrains, unsanitary bodies evolve. Through the symbiosis of disposition, we find the remnants of power and the resilience of humankind. The LA River of broken promises and Mediterranean mirages fails to signify the social promises, the social symbols that once stood for future derivatives of meaning. For some for long futures market have failed their investments. When the intricate tapestry of meaning unravels into abject bodies strewn like driftwood scattered on the broken levees of the LA value stream, a void emerges where the collective promise once stood. As the semiotic thread snaps, the social compliance fails to be understood. The LA River levees of needle exchanges, naloxone, food not bombs, recycle handouts, reminiscent of Soylent Green, Make Room, written by Harry Harrison, who may have feared becoming his own product. While the marketing opted for the cannibalistic aspect, while minorities fear its original Malthusian proposal for several reasons, some notwithstanding. The disproportionate impact of often focuses on population growth outpacing resources, leading to scarcity and competition. Hasn't the game always been about competition? Historically marginalized communities, including ethnic and racial minorities, are historically excluded by design, disproportionately affected by resource disparities. We fear the transgenerational theft of extracted material and cultural wealth that renders limited resources being unequally distributed, exacerbating existing inequalities and leaving the vulnerable to scarcity and deprivation. The dark brown stream of abject sewage and unruly water running through the middle of the canal, it ceased to be a river when the Army Corps of Engineers paved it into a drainage canal. The walls of the overpass that provide cover are filled with majestic-sized graffiti featuring the kind of Mexican gangster-style cursive writing scrawled all over our junior high notebooks and PG folders, amplifying social economic inequities that intersect With the socioeconomic disparities we face, systemic barriers and politically inscribed discrimination, resource shortages will deepen inequities. We linger in the feculent stream of environmental justice that raises questions of degradation. Lower income areas bear the brunt of environmental pollution, hazardous waste, and ecological disruptions. To cope with the historical precedents, minority communities meth up. And we put up a smile of rotted teeth. We've experienced historical instances of resource exploitation and deprivation. We fear further marginalization with oppressive measures. We fear their unique cultural practices, traditions, and identities which can't be disregarded or overlooked in the resource allocation processes. We fear the loss of cultural heritage and the autonomy in the face of limited resources and societal pressures. The feature of this Anthropocene is experienced as rehabilitation offered by modernity, a violent process of abjection, dispossession, and captivity, which has converted the semiotic transborder landscape structure into a carceral zone under the guise of urban sanitation and health promotion, especially under COVID-19. That was a light piece there. I think I read Omechika Wesley last week, didn't I? I did? Okay, thank you. All right, then I'm going to jump into the carrot. Sorry, folks. All right. Here we go, kid. This is an original. It's titled Love Bombing. I swiped right, and it was a lonely night. Thought I found love, but it wasn't quite right. They said they showered me with love and care, but all I got was a scam and a rat. Tinder love bombing and Bitcoin scamming. I fell for the dirty tricks. Now my heart is slamming. They promised the moon, but it all went up in smoke. Pendulum bombing to Bitcoin scamming. Oh, what a joke. They said they'd send me to Bitcoin and make me rich, but all they did was leave me in financial I fell for the lines. I fell for their game. Tender love, Bitcoin scamming. I fell for their tricks. Now my heart is slamming. They promised the moon, but all went up in smoke. Tender love bombing, Bitcoin scamming. What a joke. I thought I found love, but it was just a con. They played with my emotions, then they were gone. I should have known better, should have seen the signs, but I got caught up in their deceitful lies. Now I'm left here with a broken heart and an empty wallet torn apart. Tender love bombing, it's a dangerous game. Don't fall for their trick. It's all the same. Tender love bombing, Bitcoin scamming. I fell for their tricks. Now my heart is slamming. They promised the moon, but it all went up in smoke. Tender love bombing, Bitcoin scamming. What a joke.
Oh, awesome, man! You caught me on a sneeze there. I love
How was
the
that,
concept,
Richie?
man. It's an interesting concept. I left a prompt there in the chat for everyone. But funny stuff. I mean, not funny, but I mean, I just the topic, I guess. But I really
Well,
love the originals.
yeah, it's
and the
actually not
songs.
funny. There was a really interesting thing that's happening in East Asia, actually, like the Philippines and some of the southeastern area where they're literally like kidnapping people and holding them in like buildings that are all like just kind of like remote sex workers where they try to basically love bomb people into basically getting them to invest in Bitcoin, and then it's a big giant Ponzi If you're interested in Vice did a really like half-hour show on it, and it was interesting stuff. That's
Oh,
kind of where the
interesting.
original idea came from.
I wasn't actually familiar with that concept.
Yeah, but it's a
All I know are Tinder bots, not Tinder
ah,
pun.
there you go. So
Yeah.
there is another kind of form, kind of was thinking of Alex Rivera's sleep dealer concept. It's like you're in a remote container somewhere in a sweaty East Asia building, basically trying to seduce an old guy to give you his Bitcoin, give his money to invest in Bitcoin. And
Crazy,
those
man.
that was actually the company was Binance was the one that was got hit really hard. They've been investigated. I think they've had a lot of problems now. So they're catching up.
Man, but I was oblivious to all of this stuff. That's crazy. I have to look into that too. Once again, like, give me something to follow, a thread to pull on and follow. Uh, Des, how can people? I mean, you mentioned Facebook. Is there anything you want to announce or promote right now before we move on?
No, currently I'm just basically working on Time Tacos. Moved into Act 2, Scene 1, and then we've been doing little episodes a little bit. I'll bring another episode here next Monday, but I'm working on that. Hopefully, try to get that done. I've got the whole concept laid out, and I think you'll like it at the end. It's good. It's a really good story. And that's all I have. Gaseous 2019 on Instagram, and then Pandemic Poets group on Facebook. And then if you want to support my work, buy my copy of I'm Not Your Chihuahua, which is right here on the back on Amazon. I'm expecting I'm expecting a review from somebody in our community. So I'm hoping to share that with you guys once I get it. I'm assuming it's good, right, Kit? All right, guys. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Switch out here. I think I was. Oh, sorry. I think I was having trouble with my internet a little bit there. So, and I'm hitting things on my table now. What is up, everyone? It's Monday night, and we're open micing. That's right. We kick things off with Michael, and the mic is open. And next up, we've got Mr. Daniel, aka Dan the Man. I see him setting up there. Got to get the right angle. Make sure it all looks good, right? It's all about the angles. All right, how you doing, Dan? Do you feel ready? Oh, the audio is a little tricky, but sometimes it takes a while for it to pick up. So, like I said, I'm having problem with my internet. It's a little shaky right now, so I'm just gonna do a quick intro. Everyone, this is Dan the Man. Take it away, Dan.
Okay, it's Richie. Okay, I think I'm gonna make this quick. So I don't think there's not much left, but I think I'll do a quick. I think I'll do a quick freestyling with the help of the rhyme dictionary right here. Okay, wait. Nice card. No, it's so hard. Okay. Well, no wonder. It rain. Well, can't see pain, but can't see the pain. Hold on. But it's in Maine with champagne. But don't mind the blood stain because I think besides I'm gonna plan a donation with might feel a blood stain. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that Mr. Generalissimo is all the way from Maine. If it was Spain, and yes, God bless Ukraine. Yep. But I like the Mark Twain. But even though but now no rain, no gain, almost, but it doesn't feel like a hurricane. but looks like the rain's all the way down the drain. So, like, some storm to entertain. So, well, there's no mainland, but at least we can remain the same. Always right here. But we could still, it was in Spain. Oh. Oh well, we think from rain, not to drain, just a memory to gain. Going down memory lane. Okay, I guess that is it. Wait, I'm out of I'm off spotlight, Rich. Richie.
We see you.
Yeah.
You're there. You're on the screen.
Yeah, it looks like
Yo, Dan, your audio was cutting out.
damn it. Can you still hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can. I like how you get close to it. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, it looks like I'm not gonna film another blog until I get everything done. So I do apologize for the delay. So yeah, again. So all right, so give me a minute. Okay, here it is. Read it and weep it. I'm catching up a little on Instagram, but most importantly, find Advance Weekly on YouTube. And don't forget to search my channel and subscribe. Don't forget the hashtag. Come on. No, hold on.
Does that card still exist?
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys next Monday. And hey, Richie, if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you, I think, this Friday, but I'll keep you posted. All right, let's go ahead and if two guys are not here, not able to make it, let's go ahead and call it a night.
There is Dan. Hey, all right. That's Dan the man. Sorry. Like I said, my internet's getting a little sluggish right now. So it's like doing weird stuff to our Zoom meeting. But hey, whatever. We're here. We've had a lot of people. I know that I want to give a shout out to Garrett and Javi. They did sign up to perform, but they were doing some technical stuff, some audio stuff, having trouble. So we may just have to invite them next Monday to join us, which is fine. You guys are welcome to join us online. I know they've already joined us in person once, and that was the last Thursday at Old Sheepdog when Fernando hosted, and unfortunately I missed that. I want to give a shout out to everyone who has performed tonight. Thank you, all you guys, as always. You're all welcome back. And again, if you're watching and you've always wanted to read something or share, obviously we welcome you. As long as you're cool, like no hate speech, but I don't have to say that stuff anymore, but back in the day I was like, hey, what was that? That's weird. So that's why we don't have like 30 people around anymore, but we got the right amount of people here. We got the people here listening in. So if you're watching on the live stream, again, thanks for tuning in. I just saw Frank a little earlier there. Sandy was here. You know, we had a couple different peeps at various points tuning in. I appreciate you guys. And again, always for supporting. Shout out to Jenny for always supporting. If you want to follow us online and have not had a chance to do so already, it's Barbed Open Mic Series online. And if you are living in the El Paso area, we do have a couple of in-person shows coming up. Again, July 11th at Rosewood, and this coming Friday at Craft Rhythm in Brews. We have a bunch of other events throughout the month. If you use Facebook, you can follow our Facebook page, and there's an event tab. If you click on the event tab, it shows you all of the events for the month. That way, so you can plan them ahead of time. And also, we do have a link tree. You can find that on our Instagram page, the link in bio. There's 2 links to calendars. There's a Google Calendar, and there's a link to our Facebook event page calendar. So you can just find out what's going on that we're doing through BWOMS, including all of the Monday night open mics. My name is Rich. I'll see you next time. Next time I'll perform. I was ready to bust out with some stuff, but my internet's being a little shaky right now. So I'll wait till next time. But as always, those of us who are still on the call, we're going to hang out for a little bit, chop it up for a little bit. So if you want to join us, if you don't want to perform, want to join us, you're more than welcome to do so. If you know